Let's go, Eagles. I don't know about you, but I'm counting down the hours until the season kicks off. I know we still have a few months to go, but my green and white heart is already bursting with excitement. Our team is looking sharp and ready to soar high. Today, I need to talk about some important topics that have been causing quite a stir behind the scenes at the Eagles. And trust me, a lot is about to happen moving forward. I'll tell you everything I've heard, but before we dive into the details, make sure you hit that like button, but only if you've been an Eagles fan for more than 19 years. It's amazing to see fans of all ages here. Some of you were at games back in the 70s. That's incredible. Nothing but respect for you all. If you can, drop a comment like this. Go Birds! My heart bleeds green and white. Let's fly even higher. Now, let's kick things off with this breaking news. Howie Roseman has once again reminded everyone in the NFL why he's one of the most calculated and forward-thinking general managers in the league. While some teams are still trying to patch up holes with aging veterans or throwing money at big-name free agents, Howie is playing chess, 5 moves ahead. And with the latest series of moves, we're seeing that the Philadelphia Eagles are not only thinking about 2024 and 2025, but already laying down the foundation for 2026. Let's start with the move that has stirred up a lot of conversation, the trade of Bryce Huff. The Eagles officially shipped him off to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for a conditional 5th-round pick that could become a 4th. Now, on the surface, this might look like a loss considering Huff was handed $34 million in guaranteed money not too long ago. But if you look deeper, this trade is about much more than just numbers. It's about accountability and smart business. Howie Roseman did something most executives in sports are terrified to do. He admitted a mistake. Rather than clinging to a failed investment just to prove a point, Howie moved on. Huff wasn't a scheme fit under Vic Fangio, who never fully trusted him. From the start of training camp, Huff wasn't running with the ones. He was playing deep into preseason games and ended the season as a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl. That's not the path of a core player. That's a red flag that the front office recognized and acted upon. And let's not forget, this trade cleared $2.4 million in cap space and nearly $8 million in cash. That's real flexibility gained by acknowledging the reality of the roster. Huff's production in 2023 for the Eagles was modest at best, 2.5 sacks, 13 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 forced fumble. Contrast that with his career year under Robert Saleh in 2023 where he notched 10 sacks, 67 pressures, and an 86.8 pass rush grade from PFF. The guy could play, but only in the right scheme. In Vic Fangio's 3-4 setup that emphasizes stand-up outside linebackers, Huff simply couldn't find his rhythm. He thrives in a 4-3, wide 9 look with his hand in the dirt, something you won't get in Philly anymore. In the meantime, the Eagles already bolstered the edge rusher room well in advance. Signings like Azeez Ojulari and Josh Uche added explosive potential. Then there's Antoine Paulin, a highly productive college player added through the draft. And don't overlook internal options like Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt, both young, hungry, and fitting the mold that Fangio wants. Smith and Hunt are guys the staff is clearly high on, and they're going to get their chance to shine. So while it might seem on the surface like the Eagles lost value, what they actually did was pivot to fit their system and future goals, and freed up resources to do it. And the ripple effects of this go even deeper, because Howie didn't stop with the Huff trade. He's orchestrated a draft strategy that could pay massive dividends in 2026. We're talking potentially 13 draft picks that year. Let's break that down. The Eagles have their own 1st-round pick, their own 2nd-round pick, 2 3rd-round picks, 1 from the Jets, 1 their own, a projected 3rd-round compensatory pick, thanks to Milton Williams signing with New England, their own 4th-round pick, a projected 4th-round comp pick from Josh Sweat signing with Arizona, a conditional 5th from San Francisco from Huff could become a 4th, 5th-round picks from Atlanta, Houston, and potentially the Chargers, Mike Becton, their own 5th, their own 7th. This isn't just stacking picks for fun. This is strategic. This is leverage. This is what good franchises do. By building through the draft, the Eagles get young, athletic, and affordable players who can contribute for years at a fraction of the cost of free agents. And in today's NFL economy, where contracts are ballooning thanks to exploding salary caps and media deals, rookie contracts are more valuable than ever. And here's the kicker. If the Eagles hit on even half of those 2026 picks, they could add multiple starters and depth pieces on the cheap, which allows them to extend core veterans without gutting the roster. And if they miss on some, that's fine. 13 picks give them room to gamble and still come out ahead. That's what we mean when we say optionality, the power to adapt, pivot, and reload. The organization is also preparing for the inevitable, the unpredictable nature of football. Injuries, regression, age catching up with key players, these are all part of the NFL reality. And while most teams scramble to plug holes when that happens, the Eagles, under Roseman's leadership, are trying to be ahead of the curve. And let's not forget, this is all happening in a window where the Eagles are expected to compete now. Jalen Hurts is in his prime. The offense is stacked. The defense is retooled. Nick Sirianni and his staff are all in. Yet, they're not mortgaging the future to chase short-term gains. They're doing both. Win now and win later. That's rare. That's championship mentality. So here's the question that I leave you with as we wrap up part 1 of this exclusive breakdown. With Howie Roseman loading up on draft picks for 2026 and moving off of Bryce Huff to stay aligned with Fangio's scheme, do you think the Eagles are setting themselves up for long-term success? Or do you worry about losing proven talent too soon? The Bryce Huff trade and the Eagles' 2026 draft capital are only the beginning of a much deeper strategy. What we're seeing is a franchise that understands how to balance immediate contention with long-term sustainability, and that's exactly why the front office led by Howie Roseman is drawing league-wide respect, even from rival fan bases, albeit reluctantly. Now, let's take a closer look at the ripple effect this approach will have on the team's core roster and future decisions. Because here's the reality, when you have a loaded draft arsenal like this, you're not just in a position to rebuild, you're in a position to control the board. In 2026, the Eagles won't be at the mercy of the draft. They'll be the ones setting the tone. Want to trade up for a top-tier prospect? They've got the ammo. Want to acquire an all-pro player mid-season because of an injury or depth need? Picks in hand. Want to simply reload the depth chart with younger, faster, cheaper athletes? No problem. This is where Howie's strategy hits a whole new level. He's not just making trades for the sake of change. He's stacking options that give the Eagles both leverage and security. It's an elite chess match, and Howie is already a few moves ahead of most GMs. And what makes this even more impressive is that Roseman is doing all of this while being brutally honest about previous misfires. Huff was a bet that didn't pan out. That happens in the NFL, but most teams would have kept him around just to justify the paycheck. Instead, Howie saw the writing on the wall, admitted the mistake, and got value while clearing room for younger, better-fitting talent. That level of self-awareness isn't common in front offices. It's one thing to draft well. It's another to know when to cut bait. And Roseman's track record shows he's willing to do both, take chances and pivot quickly when the fit isn't right. Let's shift the lens a bit now and talk about Vic Fangio's role in all of this. Because what can't be overlooked is how central his system is to the Eagles' current defensive identity. Huff didn't fit, plain and simple. Vic wants stand-up edge rushers who can play in space, set the edge, and execute his complex coverage schemes. He's not looking for one-dimensional speed rushers who need a specific stance to explode off the line. That's why guys like Nolan Smith and Jalen Hurts are getting more attention. Fangio has been clear. He sees potential in these young guns. And if the Eagles are betting on them, then they're betting on upside, athleticism, and coachability. That's how you develop homegrown stars, rather than overpaying for ones who peaked elsewhere. Now think about the flexibility this gives the team when it comes to contract decisions in 2025 and 2026. With young edge rushers under rookie deals, Howie and Lurie can afford to lock up key veterans at other positions. Think offensive line, wide receiver,